One more part of the chicken coop done. Nesting boxes are made. Now there are a couple that are a little bit smaller, and a couple a little bit larger because I had to offset the little dividers so I can get screws in them. But it just gives the chickens some options on where they want to lay their eggs. So I'm kind of an option guy. I like to give them options to, I don't know, whatever. We're still waiting on our automatic chicken coop door. We've ordered a solar powered, battery powered chicken coop door that opens in the morning and closes at night automatically. But since this virus is going around, it's on back order. It's probably gonna be another 2, maybe 3 weeks. So for now, we've got little blocks on each side of the door to prop it open so the chickens can come and go as they want. We're still trying to get all the chickens to roost down in this chicken coop. Some of them are still roosting up in that chicken coop. And I was waiting until I got nesting boxes before I just took that chicken coop and dumped it over, took it apart, because that's the only place they were laying eggs. So I have a feeling tonight we'll transfer them over here one more time, and tomorrow morning I'll get up and I'll move that chicken coop away from the greenhouse and I'll just take it apart. And hopefully they come down here and start laying eggs in these nesting boxes instead of those 2 nesting boxes up there. I have been working on a couple other things around here the last couple days. I've been working on the sawmill. I got all the lumber that I had milled out of there, and I've milled out a little bit more, and I've done a little bit to work around the sawmill to make working on the sawmill a little bit easier. I'll take you up there and show you what I've done. I had that big stack of blue pine over here that I milled out for one of my neighbors. Got him to come over with his trailer. We loaded it all up and got it out of here. And then I had one log up on the mill, so I milled it out and I just put that stuff right here for now. I'm not planning on using this area right here as a stacking point or a storage point for my lumber anymore. It's a little bit harder to get it off the mill, and it's kind of in the way. So over at this end of the greenhouse, we've got a little bit of room to stack lumber that's more out of the way and a little bit easier to access. What I've been doing with the pieces, the takeoff pieces off the logs, is laying them on the ground over here to build this area up. I've talked about building other areas of my property up using the takeoff pieces from my sawmill, or the scrap pieces. What I usually do is lay them all out, kind of like what you see there, and then I'll bring my backhoe over, I'll scrape some dirt up from other parts of the yard, and I'll just cover these in dirt, and then I'll hose them down real good. Kind of packs the dirt in and around all those logs. Gives it a really good fill. What I'd like to see happen in the next, I don't know, week or two, build this area up so those ramps that the logs are going to roll up onto the sawmill, make those ramps level. So I can take the logs, roll them right over on a gradual slope, and then they'll roll right onto the sawmill. I won't have to use too much effort to get logs on the sawmill at that point. Now I can't build the dirt up right to the sawmill because this is the side of the sawmill that I stand on. I'll still have to use the ramps, but the ramps are pretty lightweight and easy to move, easy to put into place, and I can just leave a little walkway right there. Another reason I'd like to get the lumber that I mill out away from this area is because the sawmill produces a lot of sawdust on this side, and it's blowing sawdust all over my new lumber, freshly milled lumber. Not that it's going to hurt the lumber any, but it's nice to be able to get a backhoe in here more often than not to clean up this sawdust and the bark I throw off on this side. Just get this big sawdust mess out of here. The only thing I do regret is moving my sawmill out from underneath those trees. I don't regret moving it out of that area because I think in that area it was really hard to get logs in there, but I regret not moving it closer to some trees. It's super hot out here all day long. The sun's, from the time the sun comes up, I mean, you got a couple oak trees over there to shade it and a couple pine trees way over there to shade it, but it's super hot. So I wish I'd moved it to a place that had a few trees around it to protect me from the sun a little bit during the day, during the hot days like it is today, but it still works. Well, the more I work around here, the more I redesign how I have things, and eventually I'll get them all the way I like them, get everything where I want it, and it'll all flow real nice. Until then, I just keep working on it, keep changing things around and coming up with new ideas. Until next time, guys, go make something.